Hello everyone, and welcome back to Anether. It's been a bit of a while, but then I've had a fair few things going on. As you can tell, things are still fairly laggy around here. I'm beginning to chop this up just to the Nether being laggy, as it always is. But I actually record Nether Expedition fairly low FPS, and I get really I get fairly far for having about 8 FPS for most of it. Done a bunch of macerating, and there's a huge hole over the ways. Also made a backlog of rubber, because we seem to want that every single time I have to do a video. And also cooked up a few advanced alloys, and you'll see why in a moment. Because over here we have our electrolyzer, which has made us 53 electrolyzed water cells, and they're going to be our main thing for today, because we are focusing on force fields. And we are getting rid of this laggy, bulky, kind of irritating door. I'm not going to take that out just yet, because I still need to go through here every now and then. So just right now, I don't really entirely sure what the specific cause of lag is, but it's annoying. Yeah, we got some more there. I've been revising how I've been doing this so we can get something running faster, but not so much there. Okay, so the first thing we are going to need is a power source. So let's dig under our machine shop and find a place we can take a wire to. Yeah, well, this should do nicely. Can I jump over this? Nope, I can't. So annoying. Can jump up from there though, which is good. Okay, so we need to get some fiber, and then we are going to begin putting together the materials for all of the things that we're going to be using this from. I need to make either a chest full of cables and a chest full of pipes, or I need to just make bulks of them, I don't know. I've taken to just making lots of things, because it saves me time later. Okay. Now we need an EU injector, which is over here. And if you can tell from the name, we're playing with force fields. Let's see, bat box, some copper cables, some refined iron, and 2 of our electrolyzed water cells. Unfortunately, we actually have all of those materials on hand, because we still have our bat box left over from when we upgraded the power supply in the charging room. And why did I go in here? There's fraud. Because there's our old bat box. I'm actually going to need a couple of these. But that's for something that isn't the injector. And oh lordy. Okay, I apologize for the kind of lag spikes we're going to get, but we're going to get them. So, not much I can do. I spent a lot of time in the earlier days of Nether Expedition making sure that I had reasonable frames to perform, and I got to be almost an aficionado on how to do it, but I've currently got every single setting, more or less, inside of Optifine here turned down to the absolute fastest and/or minimum. And we're still getting about 5 frames per second. So I don't really know what's up. It's probably just all the stuff that has to be running. But there is our injector. And I've just remembered something silly about the injector. I'll explain what that is once I grab this and head back over there. Now, the silly thing about the injector, or rather the core, which the injector feeds power into, is that the core needs to be directly on top of an injector. So let's shove it in this corner here. Yep. Well, there's a nice convenient hole, because I've been playing around this place quite a bit. Oh, which reminds me, last time we did the geothermal power, and it's not complete just yet, but we've got 2 of these columns doing, and we now actually have enough power to run the mass fabricator continuously. Like, it's not draining our power in the least. So we're building up quite a bit of that, which is handy. There. Boink. There we go. Okay, so let's put our injector here. Which, interestingly enough, looks like a core when we're holding it. Actually, do I want this higher? I want this higher. And I don't have my wrench on me. I think these require wrenches. I'd rather err on the side of caution than not, but because if I fail this, if I mess this up, I'm gonna have to go make another box. We got our toolbox. I really need to get. I need to use some of the stuff that we put together actually from our adventures with the UU matter into making a talisman of repair. Because those tools are getting a little worn out. Yep, there we go. Okay, there we go. Apparently my electric wrench isn't on lossless mode, considering it has a ton of power left. Okay, so the next thing we need is our core. And that goes directly on top of these, the injector that we've just made. And that's going to require us to make another electrolyzer, a frequency transmitter, a couple of electronic circuits, we have some of those alloys in stock, and 4 of our water cells. Now, if you don't know, the electrolyzed water cells are sort of a battery, in that you stick them on one side. If you stick a water cell on one side of the electrolyzer, it'll turn it very, very slowly into an electrolyzed water cell. And if you just over here, made a bunch of refined iron because we always need that. Let's see, it's gonna be 2, 4. Actually, it's gonna be 3, I believe. There we go. Just trying to remember what the recipe for the electrolyzer is, actually. Yeah, we are going to need one of those. Oh, and a machine block. Which is another 8 of these. Okay. And you. Right. What was I talking about again? Oh boy. The electrolyzer gradually turns water cells into electrolyzed water cells, and it does that by taking a bunch of power very slowly from the storage device it's right next to. In that case, it's an MFE. Because I had a bunch of diamonds, so why not? Did I miscount? Apparently I did. Well, no matter, it's right here. Okay, not really bothering with our splitting into threes trick today. Okay, and there's our electronic circuits. Now what was the rest of the electrolyzer? Copper cables, and the empty cells. Right, I knew I grabbed those for a purpose. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm about to run back into the goodies room anyways. There's some cables in one of the boxes. Hurrah! At some point I should maybe look into making some kind of system that just fetches the materials I want, because I go back and forth quite a bit. But yes, if you stick the electrolyzed water cells on the other side of the electrolyzer, it gives the power source it's right next to a big boost. Okay, and frequency transmitter. Oh, right, another electronic circuit. I believe I have a spare somewhere. I'll save us a bit. There we are. And one more of you. Okay, so frequency transmitters are pretty important when you're making things like teleporters. To my knowledge, they don't really serve much of a purpose. Okay, so frequency transmitter, electrolyzer, electronic circuits, and I'm missing something. Alloy. which is on the other side of the building. Yay. Yeah, I need to build up something. I need to make some kind of system that just, like, goes and fetches whatever I need. And Ellie's in here. Ooh, one other thing I didn't hear. Added this lever which turns off the clock for this system because it gets a little irritating with all the ticking. You don't hear the ticking when you're in, like, multiplayer servers, but you hear it quite a bit in single player. And I've also upgraded this into a rotary macerator, which you can see it has that speed on the side there, which the higher that speed is, the faster it will process items. And the re-battery there is just because the way of the transposers and stuff work. If it isn't there, then it shoves things like coal ore and whatnot in there, which is a bit annoying. Also tooled it a bit to make what's the phrase? Coal dust, so I can make copper plates for other things, like the rotary macerator, as it turned out. But oh well. Anyways, we have the alloy we need, and the electrolyzed water cells. And the electronic circuits, frequency transmitter, electrolyzer, force field core. Okay. And now if I get a lever to put on top of it, it's going to start charging. And then we're going to have to start dipping into the stuff we can get from the stuff we found from the UU matter. I'm not actually sure what the range of this thing is at the moment. I may have to make a range extender. I've had these things go pretty far from where they started. Okay, so we can see that the power is building up there. We can also see it only has a range of 8. So depending on what happens next, we can have to build another extender. Right. What we need now is a projector. You can see there's a variety of these. This actually isn't even the limit of them. There's a few more. What we want is the directional, which is going to require diamond, another frequency transmitter, and 2 more electronic circuits. So in total, it's another 3 electronic circuits. So we're going to need 18 of this rubber, and we're going to need some more of our copper. But let's go the cheap route, shall we? Just grab a stack of copper dust, stick it into our transmutation table, and pull it right out. Okay. There we go. And we need some more refined iron, and why the hell did I grab a bunch of... Oh, never mind. Evidently that happened. Oh well. Not a problem, not a problem. Yeah, occasionally you'll find that if you stick the materials in wholesale like that, then bad things like that happen. Because it'll do all of it rather than all of it until it all of it until it's missing a piece, which is a mild pain. Yeah, and there's the sound of one of our mining turtles going away. They've produced quite a backlog of wood in there. I should probably try and find some useful. And that's not the last of our redstone. We have a fair bit in the processing room, the machine shop. Okay. Need a piece of copper cable to make the frequency transmitter, which allows this projector to link to our core. And we need 4 advanced alloy, and I didn't pick that up. Joy. Now let's go take a look at how these guys are doing, though. They don't currently pick up the saplings that drop around, but that's more or less fine, because every now and then they'll hit an actual leaf block as they're going upwards, and they'll get a sapling from that. And it seems to more or less balance out that they'll end up being fine for it. Also, another thing I'm thinking of doing is getting a teleporter going from down here up to Cobble Mountain, which I don't go to too often because it's a bit of a schlep. As the I'm going to stop that sentence right there because I'll end up insulting someone, I'm sure. There we go. Directional force field projector. And we're also going to need a blank card. Here we are. Blank MFFS card. That's a beefy name if ever I heard one. Okay, which requires our paper. A sort of map style. And did I get some? Yes, I did. So I can hop in here and get the stuff we would normally get from UU Matter and through here. Now a stack of it. Okay, and we're getting a fairly robust base in here. So we can pretty much pull whatever well, you can always pull whatever you've encountered. The trouble is finding it inside the transmutation table. And we need another circuit. I should have mass-produced circuits ahead of time, it would seem. I'm gonna need some more. Here. So, some interesting news on the channel is we've passed 5,000 video views, and we've also recently passed 100 subscribers. And we also seem to be getting a bit of, for want of a better phrase, pull. If you're from England, that phrase has a very distinct different meaning, but... Oh wait, what am I doing? I just remembered. We have a bunch of uninsulated cables. Because we were a bit silly. There we go. Can just do this. Done. Okay. Yeah. It's given us apparently a fair bit of pull. We've gotten publicity, for another want of a better phrase, from the TechIt Reddit, who appear to be enjoying all my videos on TechIt reactor safety, which unfortunately a bunch of those are going to be fairly obsolete very soon. Okay, and our paper. There we go. Because the next version of Industrial Craft, I believe it is going to be pulling out a lot of what they presently have for how reactors work. So things are going to be obsolete, and I'm going to have to do some follow-up videos for that, I think. Oop. Did not mean to break that. But never expected. We've gotten a fair will. Apparently, this is according to Wisey, the Ways to Die in TechIt videos that I've been doing, the next one of which I'm hoping to have ready for him by Tuesday, scheduling providing, is actually apparently one of the most popular series on that channel at the moment. Now would be a really nice time to fly, game. Grr. Yeah, well, I'll just do this the way I usually do then. There. What's the phrase, Kool-Aid guy? That's basically how I'm doing that. Okay, so that is our directional projector. And it needs a link to our core, and the cores, thankfully, are wireless, so you can do a fair few things with them. But what we need to do is take our... That's not getting here. Hold on. Okay, so we take our blank card to here. Turns a frequency card, which means whatever we put this in is going to be linked to this core, which is actually almost full, I think. I don't think we'll need to expand it because it's not going to be doing too much. And that needs to go in here. And hey, we have some power available. That's good. That means we're in range. So turn that up to 3. And don't have anything on me to turn this on. But we can sort that out in a second, actually. Okay, so it's there, so I just plug that there, and bundled cable. Recycling my wiring here. Don't worry about it. And it's not turned on at the moment, but I can fix that. Let's get that bag of whatever it is out. There we go. One force field. As you can see, it's a bit slim, but we can also fix that because we have a bunch of diamonds and we have a whole ton of alloy, and that is used in this, the directional extent. Those are the farmcraft stuff. Yep, so 3 advanced alloys and a diamond. We're going to need 2 of these. So 6 advanced alloys. Yep, the sound of the massive fabricator running away in the background there. Okay, that gives us these 2. Now if we go over to our little thing here, and one there, and one there. I use these in QLab all the time, because they're a lot neater than other flashy doors. There we go, extends it all sides, which means we now have an impenetrable door. And what's more, I can stick a computer onto these, and with a sensor and whatnot, and we can have them eventually just turning off whenever we get near. We won't even need these pressure plates. It'll be completely silent, completely non-intervention. And also very, very small. So that's more or less what we're doing today. I shall catch you next time. Ooh. Yep. You can also add other upgrades onto these, like the Zapper upgrade, which uses a Tesla coil and makes it sparkly and red and causes it to hurt you badly. But there's also things like the camouflage upgrade, which we could use to make it look like glass, or to make it look like netherrack or nether brick and all sorts, which we might look into. The dome upgrade stops the bottom half of things like the area projector from showing, so it's like an actual block cutter. Well, it's sort of like a block breaker, but it turns every single piece of force field into a block breaker. Core storage does what it says on the tin, adds more space into the bat box equivalent part of the force field core. Yeah, that's the range upgrade, which we don't need by the looks of it. And the underwater upgrade just clears out all the water inside of a force field, which is not that huge a problem here, but I'm actually not sure if it works on, say, lava, so we may look into that. Lag. Okay, but that's all for today. I shall catch you next time when I've done some more work with these force fields. And I'll show you all about how to do that, and we may also be doing a bit of upgrading in here, because that's upgraded and that's working very quickly. In fact, it processes materials faster than they can be removed. But these two are just running basic things with overclockers, so we may want to upgrade those at some point soon. But for now, I've got a bunch of wiring in the door to fix. But we can take this off. So there we go. If you have any other suggestions, now's the time to give them, because my board is clear here. It's mostly just grunt work for me as far as I'm aware now, but by all means, leave your suggestions in the comments for other things to do. So, I shall catch you next time.